Here we are again. It's Up Doc Auto time. Oh, she just came moments ago. All kinds of stuff's popping around here. Let's see. I don't like those things so much. Melling. That's what you want to see. Melling. So in here, let's see, part number, eyes on the prize, IS55E. Oh, it makes a lot of jingly noises, don't it? Well, there's your metal tipped. That looks like an exact replacement. The oil driver, that drives the distributor there, and that drives the oil pump. Take the place of that little nylon piece of mess. Oh, nice feeling thing. Let's see what it is. You ready? See if it's upside down or not. Yeah, it's upside down. What? That don't look like much of a classic car to me. Well, I don't know. You gotta watch those Lexus guys. So anyway, that goes there. Let's see what goes here. Let's see. This is the 55 F1. So I'm hoping that all of this stuff matches. Oh, there's your pickup tube with the screen. These are so cheap, and it looks like they're kind of hard to clean up in there. And so I think so far I think we're like at $22 at these two parts here. So just get a new one of them. And let's see, that box goes there, and then the cooler grassy here. That feels good and weighty. Anything else in there? Nope. Let's see what's in here. How do you get into this? Boy. Oh. You just pull them out, I reckon. Not showing my bare feet today. I got some comments on that. Don't show your bare skin. Okay. Well, there it is right there. Now this is what we're going to blueprint right here. Well, it comes with that thing. So I got a couple of those if anybody needs those. I don't think I'd even give those away. Just put those in the spacer tube thing. Okay. So here's the, what is this? M55. That looks right. Now remember too, I saw guys say this. These two pins that go into the bearing cap thing. Be real careful with those because those snap right off. The ears break off. So there you go, baby. And so we're going to take this apart and we're going to blueprint it. And I don't think I'm going to try for any more pressure. I don't think I need it. But I'm kind of stuck right now waiting on bearings. But this is going to be the main thrust of the video right here. Is this brand new thing here. They're so cheap. The whole thing was just so cheap. A lot cheaper than pulling a motor out and getting another motor. Especially because, if I got another motor, I'd probably go to Jasper and put a straight drive transmission in it. I planned on doing that 10 years ago, and everything just keeps holding up. So I'm trying to it's held up so good, and it's been so good to me that I'm just trying to keep it going. So we'll be taking this apart. I'm going to take the old one apart. I'm going to take them apart side by side, and we'll see what the wear patterns look like on the old thing. Okay, so there's everything. Ready to go down there and do that. I'm going to do some powder coating too. So I've done so much powder coating. I'm just going to show you what it looks like when it's over. I'm not going to go into the whole process. Waiting on John to come back to poof out those RM250 Suzuki exhaust pipes. So we're just kind of waiting on that. So I moved a bunch of rocks today and pumping out the pond. So trying to get some projects done. So it's the weekend. So I got some time to do that. All right, let's move along. I did this the other day, but I realized I had put it on the Mick video. So what is this, 2002 Yeah, that's a 2002. So here's all the parts out of the old oil pump. Don't matter. I'm going to hold on to them until I'm through. So I've already taken it apart, and you can tell. I can feel how rough it is through my gloves. Boy, that really has taken a beating right there. It's been flattened pretty good, and yeah, I think it's high time. Here's the, yeah, that's kind of scored up too. See the little circles? So that ain't no good. I pulled the pin out. Let's see. Yeah, see it's scarred up on the side walls. Yeah, doing the right thing there. Getting rid of that. Let's see if this is a well, it's an M55, so it's the same as it was a Melling, but that thing's got some time on it, that's for sure. So we'll hope that we do good there. So I want to go get the bearing cap. Yeah, it rained some. Where'd I put the bearing cap? Right down here, and those screws go there. You got to make sure that your new pump hits those pins. Left that in there, did I? Okay, well, it don't really matter. It's not what I'm going for. All right, let's go get the other pump. And I'm not going to care if I get it dirty because I'm going to put it in the ultrasonic no matter what I do next. And that's what's sitting right there, the 2002 K&N. Now, K&Ns don't have built-in bypass valves in them. Let me clean that back here. I've been doing all kinds of things. So let me get some workspace. Okay, let's see how this is going to fit. When's the last time you saw one of those? I still have the original box and with the original bracket down in there. I'll be dogged. You hook that up to your intake manifold and it meters in lubrication on old cars. Don't see that anymore, I bet you. Okay, so here's a brand new, never before touched. Well, see, still got gloves on, and we're gonna see if that fits. See if you force that, you can break these ears off. Let me get both hands on this. Okay, that's pretty good. It took a little bit of sanding and fitting and tapping, but never with this part of the hammer. This will not go in a vise. It will not be hit with a hammer. Okay, so just remember that. Let that be a lesson to you. Okay, so I think that's plenty good enough. That'll just pull it up in there and keep it tight. Good enough for me. And I can take this off without wedging it or anything. I just take it off with my hands. Okay guys, so this has never been opened before. And so let's open. I'm going to drive that pin out because I want that pin. It doesn't look like it's a tapered pin, does it? Well, you got to take it off there before we do it, no matter what you do. Staked in there kind of weird, isn't it? Maybe I won't take that out. I don't know how to think about it. So the other one that I took out was tapered. That doesn't look tapered. Just maybe we just ought to leave things alone. It's a yellow spring. I think that means 60 pounds. All right, well, let's zip it apart and see what we got. And we'll just put the parts in there. Okay. If you use the old impactor and they just zip right out of there. No vices. Okay. This will give you a chance to put your Loctite back on these two. So let's take a look here. And oh yeah, see I put my mark right there. See that mark right there? USA, USA. It goes like that. So we're going to put this here and keep it clean. Now you got to take this out. You don't got to take it out. It's nice, got some nice oil in it. You have to relieve those sharp edges, and I'm going to drill my, I think it's 1/16 holes. I tore up my notes, so I can't. Got so much to do here, I'm going to have to redo another note. I'm rough on things. Let's see. Well, yeah, drill 3 1/16 holes. So you go high, skip to Maloo 2, and skip to Maloo 2, and then down low. Okay, put that right there. And we'll take this out of here. Okay, and like I say, all this stuff's gonna hit the, yeah, see, those are nice and smooth. So they say you've got to go from somewhere to somewhere. Where do you go? And smooth it out. Well, that's where the shaft goes, so I don't know, that looks pretty smooth to me. Well, I had my paper, my crocus cloth, or whatever you want to call it. Well, doggone, that looks pretty clean. Well, I was sort of all ready to do battle with that. And you don't have to. Okay, that's just where the bolt goes, right there. So that's just as smooth as it can be. Well, congratulations. All right. Well, we still got to knock all these corners off a little bit. We'll use that to do that. And so you got to knock these corners off inside on both sides. I don't think you need to knock that off. And then you got to knock this off a little bit around here. And then you got to knock them off there. Let's get the 3/16 drill, 1/16 drill bit, and drill these holes. Now I'm going to check right now and see. I got that 320. Let's start with 320. So I'm going to tack this down here. You know, I like using this body stuff because it's sticky. And we're going to see how flat this is, because that's supposed to be flat too. Okay, kind of got demirrored, didn't it? Right there. Like I say, I'm hard on things. Don't mean to be. Okay, so that goes there, and then that goes there, and then you'll have to chase your sandpaper all over creation. Okay. Now I'm not going to pack this with Vaseline or grease. I've been warned against that. This is not a Dauntless 69 Buick, so we'll see how that does. Okay, press that down. Might as well stick with me here. Let me wipe this off. I'll just use my shirt. There's not enough there to matter. Okay, here we go. There's where that pin goes. I don't think I'm going to mess with that because it just looks like it's staked. I think that could be a mistake. We will check. Okay, let's do this. It's called French polishing. When you do the figure 8 thing. That is not flat, gang. See how it's shiny around the edges? That ain't flat. So let's make it flat then. Dadgummit. Well, I was warned of all this. I don't want to use anything too much more aggressive than this. Well, the other thing you run into, not only do the gears not ride correctly, it leaks. It'll leak. So I can see why people blueprint these. You know, that passage there is kind of nasty. See all those dimples in there? Maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know. What do you want to do there? there's some pretty nasty casting mess there. So that's the oil pickup. So I guess I'll get the old Dremel and maybe this baby right here and clean that up a little bit. So there's no risk of, better stick something in there. I've got these things. Alright, well, let's get this flat. I don't know about this pin thing. I guess I'm just gonna have to shoot it with brake clean all up in there. But let's stick one of the I had it right. It happens to all of us. Okay, I got my silicone little peg thing, so we'll see if I can find one of those and not get a little bit of powder coating in there. Okay, let's get this flat and find out what fits that, and then move on, I guess. 1/16. I keep saying through. It's 1/16. It takes a little time, but that's how bright that is now. Not going to do any more to that. So let's get the Dremel going, and I got to go in. It's always like that. Okay. I want to use both hands on it, but I just want to show you doing it. I got one of them fancy chuck on a chuck there. Double chuck. Okay. So, get all that swarth. So one, I think that, well, this don't have the dot on it. I don't guess it matters. Okay, so you got the one high, and you go over 2, 1, 2, and you got the one in the middle, and then 1, 2, you got the one on the bottom. Okay, so let's get the Dremel going and get my stuff on and clean this out. Let's see, what was it? Where did I put the dumb thing? I don't know. Okay, I really don't want to bend my cable around too much, but see, that's the way it's going to go. So it looks rough now, and but boy, that sure is smooth. I liking that. Okay, just I try to show you what I'm doing, but I don't know. Sometimes it don't work out, and it doesn't really matter. Just you'll see in a minute. Okay, I remember to put my plug in there. Look how much cleaner that is. See, that's polished now. There's a bunch of horror in there, and you can see how terrible it looks on the other side. It took me about 3 or 4 minutes to just get that far, so we'll clean that on out tomorrow, and we'll get right back to it, I promise. Because if I don't, I can't drive Daphne. So I better get right back on it. Okay, a brief interlude to give me something to think about. Measure pan depth. Now they say, I watched the Melling video, and he said anywhere between 3/8 and a half, which to me is 7/16, but let's just see what it is. Seven and a quarter. Okay. Alright, well that takes care of that then. Where's that other one that's better? It's okay, I can read this one fine. Let's just get it and see what it looks like. I got a new tape measure. It's not like they go bad. I have actually seen bad tape measures. So that lovely woman in Hillsboro that was an appraiser for about 30 years, she had a tape measure that was off several feet, over 50 feet, and she didn't know it because it was an old cloth tape and it had shrunk meals. So we had, all right, 7 and a quarter right there on it. Okay, so deduct 7/16 from that, and put the oil pump on, measure it, you'll be fine. Keep this turned over, keep it clean. What's all this talking about over there? Oh, it's Hank Williams. Okay, back to this world. let's clean this up. I found my assembly lubes. I got Lucas and I got Ultra Slick, and I got a whole nother bottle of Ultra Slick. So I'll tell you my methodology on this coming up pretty soon. Okay, so I'm going to sand on this a little bit to make sure it's flat, and I'm going to sand on that a little bit to make it flat, make sure that it's flat. So let's see how that goes, huh? Okay, I gave it a couple of hits, and it ain't flat. So, but you got to be careful here, because you know, kind of mess up your stuff. So I need to go look at that other pump. I don't know. I don't care about the old pump anymore. I'm sure. Forget about that thing. Okay, so let's just concentrate on this. Hadn't done that yet, but that I just gave that a little goings over, and ain't flat. Be flat in a minute. See all that dark? That ain't flat either. I'm not going to go pull the pins out of the other thing. I got that satisfactory without too much time. But see, that ain't no good there. So this is 400. I think that's 320. Just give it a little bit of a polish. See, that looks a whole lot better. A little bit like it's 7 o'clock there, but not enough to matter, I don't think. I would say so far, if you're wondering about time, I would say I've been down here about 15 minutes. That is beautiful. Okay, now let's go over here and get the Dremel and knock these angles off here. So I finally gave up on trying to keep that bypass thing clean. So anyway, and I've decided not to pull that pin, but boy, I've got that polished up nice. I might work on that a little bit more, but man, that is a darn sight better. So okay, I'm happy with all of that. We got to knock the edges off this, and then everything's hitting the big tank here. Okay, so I just gently went around the edges and chamfered all those a little bit. That's completely prepared. This is completely prepared. Went all down around in there. At these edges here and here, and you can feel a difference. I mean, they were sharp. So that ought to stop any cavitation, I hope. And this one, I did too. Let's see where you kind of go off track a little bit. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. But I got, this is the one that I drill the holes in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little devil right here, and I'm going to go in there and kind of clean that out a little bit too. So get the sharp edges off those 3 holes. Just be careful with everything. Don't bump it too hard. And then just set it down in there carefully. I'm going to put this in here that way, so hopefully you'll get that stuff out of the thing. I think I'm just gonna let those kind of float over here, and then I'm gonna get my colander and put it there. Okay, it's so funny because on 2 videos I've used an ultrasonic, and boy, it really plays havoc with the microphones on these cameras. So I'm not gonna do it. So I got a list of things to do, so I'm gonna go do those. It's pretty hot. Yeah, it's hot enough. I might just let that sit there a while. Run it one time, let it heat up and soak, and then run it again. And boys, let me go get some red and Loctite. I don't need green Loctite. I need to wipe this out too. You know, a magnet and a magnet. Okay, so I want to use this for assembly. This is a great thing. Thank you, Stan, my old neighbor. And I've got his Kubota going for him. And sharpen that baseball bat of a bush hog blade. That's kind of funny. Baseball bat of a bush hog blade. And I had to go to the Kubota dealer, not too far from here. And he said I could get me something, so I got me that. It's nice of him. Thanks, Dan. They make that special tool to install this, and I think this is clean enough. But a long time ago, some project Mick had, I got this old crummy wrench that came, I think, in a Mercedes toolkit, and it's 17 millimeter and 15 millimeter. And dog, if that don't fit on there pretty good. And see, I got a handy dandy whack it in there thing on this end of the wrench, so you can see that's going to work fine. What do you know, huh? I'll blow that out real good before we put it back in anywhere. Okay, I'm keeping this lid closed. Oh, okay, well, just to keep the dust out of it. But that'll be the perfect tool once I get my 7/16 figured out on up from the bottom of the pan. And like they say, if you put it too close to the pan, it starves. If you put it too far away from the pan, it starts. I'm putting all my tools over here. So anyway, I know you're not supposed to use silicone on these gaskets, but I ain't too keen. Well, that's flat on that side. Well, I never really noticed that. That could certainly cause a leak. Well, I just depended on this thing. Well, I'll be dogged. Oh, I need to get the thickness of this gasket to, I think it's 3/8, isn't it? To minus off my other measurement there. This thing's weird. It doesn't seem to want to come on, but when you touch it, it comes on. I think it's 3/8. Seems like that's what I read in the stats. Well, let's start again. (11/64), 5/32. Well, I don't know, maybe it's this. I think I'm going to use this one. I don't know. And it said 200 pound-feet of torque. So let's just get this some usable number here. Really want let's just call it, I'm sorry, 3/16. Let's just call it 3/16. Yeah, if you don't smush on it any. I guess that's something to consider though. So if you smush on it, which you're going to be doing, you got to kind of minus out. I think if you get it 7/16, you've got enough leeway with some 30 seconds on either way of pickup. So I think that'll be fine. Okay, 3/16. Okay, let's take them out and dry them off. Oh, they look good. That looks good. Okay. So I got my WD-40 ready and everything. So I got a nice clean cloth here. Yeah, that looks fine. Well, I cleaned it up quite a bit. So I got all this new hardware, but I can't use it because I'm using that thick gasket. So anyway, but it can use the new washers. Is where I'm going with this. All right, so let's clean this off. I got my red Loctite ready. I got blue Loctite if I need it. I got a nice supply of razor blades. Everything's clean. Now when it's real clean, the Loctite works better. So let's, I need to get the air compressor going. I forgot about the air compressor. So that's okay, we'll do that. We'll blow it out, put it together. And now I'm going to use assembly lube, but I'm not going to, I'm going to get some kind of nastiness there. get a plastic bag to put all this in. A nice, look, it says CRC on it, say. And I want that just stick in my pocket. Get all the stuff together, keep it clean, and we'll be in good shape. I gotta get some air to blow that stuff out. Too late for me. Okay, let's blow them out. Put them together. So, tripod set up. Everything's ready to go. Let's make sure everything's clean. Everything's blown out and cleaned. So, just held my finger over that and hit that and blew all that out. Okay. Can't shake that stuff up too much, I don't guess. Let's go this way a little tiny bit. Okay. Okay. Looks mighty dry in there, don't it? Alright. Like I said, I don't want to put too much in there because well, that's pretty tight. I'm not digging that. Oh. Okay, well, that ain't gonna work right there. I'm gonna have to do something about that. If something went wrong, I guess drilling them holes ain't a good idea, maybe. Okay, well, that was interesting. That's just, you measure whatever size that is. And I took a little smaller drill bit and I could feel a little catch on that one. And I just sort of real gentle went in here and knocked the high spots off. That apparently that drill bit was pretty doggone sharp too. So let's clean this off and go over here and blow it off a little bit. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, just be a second. Okay, make sure I got all the swarth out of there. Let's try this again. That was a little upsetting. Okay. So I think we're going to be okay this time. Lady Rider Odysee. Okay, here we go. Don't think that's dirt. No, it's not. Oh, let's get in frame here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, baby. That feels real good there. Okay. Well, let's hope everything goes okay here. Alright, so everything goes okay there. Alright, let's just see how that feels. Look at that. I think that feels, oh, that feels marvelous. And, okay. So this is a real simple procedure here. So luckily we made our mark here. And, we're all but done, ready to bag it and call this one done. And there's my mark right there. So, oh boy, ooh, I wish you could feel that. That it did not feel like that before. All right, let's get some red Loctite on these babies. Oh, come on. All right. All right. So, oops. It's all right. There's not that much in there. Okay, marks lined up. Try not, don't touch the threads, Mick. Tell Mick, don't touch the threads. So here we go. I hadn't even had it close to the vise. So the Melling guys would be proud of me. Now, like I say, I'm not worried about putting much more lubrication stuff in there. If I want some, I can just drop some in there. And I might just do that thing. Lady Rider on the TV. Okay. Well, let's just go with your fingers. Felt like it was tighter, but it ain't. Some kind of piece of white stuff there. Okay, you got to have a little bit of an extension to get around these things. Okay. Well, I can tell you now, that feels marvelous. Okay. Gives you a little resistance, and then it doesn't. Okay, so we're going to give that a little turn. These lock out on you pretty quick, so oh, didn't get that one in there good. Okay, we're going to see how it turns in a second. Okay. And then there's that, and then there's that. Just keep going around. I don't think there's a torque spec on these. I'm sure there is, but just dang tight. Okay. Supposed to have parts tomorrow. Let's just drizzle some of this down in there. Okay. Alright, that ought to be enough. We'll just stir that around. Okay, now we're going to just fold this over because that's going to do it for me here tonight. And let's just see how that feels. That is entirely terrible. Well, no, it's not. Okay, there we go. Alright, that's okay. I don't know what was going on there. Oh yeah, alright, that's better. Just had a little tight spot there. It's not a good thing with oil pumps, but it sure feels a lot better than it did when it was new. Oh, I bet I know what it was. It was that stuff's so thick, and the gears were up on the deck here, and just had to kind of get that thick stuff out of there. It's getting better and better. Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. Man, that is beautiful there. Hear a little bit of clicky clacky. If I had to guess, I would say that was 2000s. But remember, it's got an oil pressure relief valve. So, might mount that up in a drill and just spin it around some and loosen, just kind of break it in. Let's put some of this kind in there. I don't know. Let's just stick with the Lucas because I'm about out of this semi-synthetic. Okay. Alright, that ought to be fine. Okay, don't always put your screwdrivers back in your pocket. So let's just sort of okay. The wobble's coming from the old chuck, the old Jacob's chuck. Okay, well I think that does it. It just kind of let go, didn't it? Well, I heard it moving, so I don't think the chuck was the problem. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know. Yeah, I can see it spinning. Yeah, that stuff's thick, so. Alright. That thing's turned off. Well, let me go there and get all my measurements and I'll figure out what's going on. So, got my bag ready to go. I'm going to just put her right here. And we're going to say, please give me a thumbs up. I think that's great, and it feels better than it did. And I don't know. I mean, like I say, I don't know much about GM stuff, but I know about oil pumps. So anyway, be sure to subscribe, and that'll do. And we'll talk next time. That's all I can. I think that's enough for one video, just doing that. And then we'll talk about the other stuff about fitting it later. Of course, I'm going to bring you in and pull out the fuel pump relay. It's carbureted. Spin it around, see how long it takes to get pressure, and all that other stuff. And if you don't do anything else, there's the oil geek guy. Watch that thing about zinc, ZDP, and how you can use too much of that. But that guy's pretty good. I've been watching him lately. Lake Speed Jr. and his father was a big NASCAR guy. But be sure not, you know, he don't give me nothing to say that, but I have been impressed by his taking a whole week to do scientific experiments. I don't want my sweaty gloves over there. And so anyway, we'll talk later. Let's go make some kind of dinner of some kind. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye. We said goodbye. Oh, this is cool. Look at it. It's going to go into the pond. Oh my gosh, that's great. Let me turn that off. Don't jump in there. Don't jump in there. Go over here and get a drink. You're doing it the hard way. Oh. Do it in the middle. Oh, don't fall in. Okay, got a little... Not hunting frogs, are you? Oh, this is funny. Maybe it'll learn to go to the middle and get a drink from over here. I'm zoomed all the way in. Oh, that's the thing about wildlife filming. You gotta just give it time. Okay, maybe you can find another way, huh? Walking the parapets, as they say. Mr. Nightlinger on the Cowboys. Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles, like whatever phrase they'll stick in, walking the parapets. The crows aren't going to be coming with this guy around. Alright, action's over. Second or third hummingbird. Here comes the kitty cat. He's right there. Just missed that. We'll just see what he does. If he does anything interesting, I'll let you know. That's pretty good.